You're just back with another video, and I just got done watching Swamp Thing Season 1, Episode 3, and man, things are starting to ramp up. It's kind of sad to see this show be canceled, because I really think that this series had potential. But anyways, follow me on Twitter at PerpMinded. Let's get right into this review. So pretty much, kind of starts off like a nightmare scene. We see Alec, and he's talking to the dude that, he killed as the Swamp Thing, and he's starting to get some of his memories back, which is really interesting. Meanwhile, Abby is continuously trying to figure out what happened to Alec and what's going on with the swamp, what's going on in this town. I'm not too sold on her best friend or whatever, but it's whatever. I guess you always gotta have some type of best friend in these types of scenarios. But she's doing her best to figure out what's going on and try to get to the bottom of this. Why are these people getting sick? Then we get a scene of Matt talking to his mom, which is the sheriff, and he's asking her questions. And she's kind of twisting the story, and I already don't trust her from the moment I saw her, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Then we get a scene of Abby going up to Harlan because he spent a lot of time with the little girl, and he ends up getting sick. Starts throwing up. This shit was kind of nasty, bro. I was eating while I was watching the scene, and I was like, this is some nasty ass shit. Speaking of nasty ass shit, we get another scene of Bug Boy, I guess, killing this other person that was out in the swamp. Who knows? It was kind of random, but also kind of awesome at the same time. Really weird shit. Now, going back to Maria, now she's kind of starting to wake up to the bullshit, and she's starting to remember everything and seeing through Avery's bullshit and his scheming. And it seems like this was kind of his whole plan of kind of like manipulating her, and it's kind of blowing up in his face. You got some people backing out of certain deals and threatening to expose him for the fraud that he is. Then he gets a visit from the sheriff, which I had a feeling, I knew it, that they're involved in some type of way, some type of love affair kind of thing. Maybe it's more than that, I don't know, but it kind of seems like she doesn't know what he's really up to. So we're just gonna have to still wait on that to play out, to see how that plays out. But it's very interesting, how long have they been, doing this. Now we get to a scene with Maria. She's pretty much kind of hallucinating, as it would seem, but she's starting to see, Shauna's dead body and stuff, talking to her. Really creepy shit. They really knocked out of the park with the horror aspect of this. Meanwhile, Abby's going through Alex's little laboratory or whatever, and gets a little visit from Bug Boy. And before Bug Boy could even kill her or get anywhere near her, Swamp Thing comes in with the epic save, the epic entrance, and pretty much defeats Bug Boy. And they have a moment here, which I kind of like this. They start having a connection, and I like that he's starting to speak now. He's starting to speak, and he's starting to remember things, and they're starting to have this little connection. And I think this is where that romance is going to start blooming. But Swamp Thing helps her out by giving her kind of a hint of how to pretty much combat this disease that's going around, this sickness that's going around, and she's able to save her friend Harlan, which was really cool. and really dope at the same time. Now they have a cure for right now. Now back to Maria real quick. She completely cuts, Avery off, and now that pretty much pisses off Avery, and he starts going into a downward spiral after this. But like I said, I really like this episode. We're starting to see that romance blossom between Abby and Swamp Thing, because she knows that this is Alec, and, it's going to be really interesting to see how that really plays out going forward. But, so then we cut to the scene of Daniel getting a visit from the fortune teller. I cannot pronounce her fucking name. I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but pretty much they just get to talking, and he wants her to tell him his fortune, and she's like, it's coming out to be the same thing, but now it's different. Now it's kind of in a reverse, and I think that's pretty much teasing him becoming the main villain pretty much of this series. Like, things are starting to really ramp up in this episode. I really enjoyed it. You see even Avery now going right down the dark path, and I really like where this season has been going. It just sucks that this got canceled. Hopefully somebody picks it up. But until the next episode review, I'm going to have to check y'all out. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you're new, and I'm going to check y'all later. Peace.
They keep dreaming, man, but sometimes you gotta wake up from a dream and go get it. You get out of it what you put into it. The game is so simple, y'all just ain't listening. If you're chasing your dream, you're not running fast enough. Run faster. You gotta work for greatness, man. You gotta work.